Feel privileged to welcome you all in the virtual entrepreneurship conclave Udhyamita 2022. Before proceeding further, I would like to introduce a chairperson and co-chairperson of the session. The chairperson of this session is Dr. Anand Rajawat, Director SVIIT SWB Indore. Dr. Anand Rajawat is Professor of Computer Science and Engineering Department and Director of Shri Vaishnav Institute of Information Technology of Shri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya Indore. He has been engaged in teaching, research, training, and consultancy for the last 20 years. He obtained PhD in the Faculty of Computer Engineering in the field of software engineering and ME in Computer Engineering with specialization in software engineering from DAVB Indore. Currently, he has been also working as visiting faculty in St. Cloud State University, USA. Besides undertaking consultancy assignments, he has authored and co-authored more than 102 publications. He has been on the panel of reviewers of number of national and international journals. Dr. Rajawat was awarded with Excellence in Academics Award in 2021 and Dronacharya Award by IBM in 2008 and 2009 for development and deployment of best research projects. Dr. Anand Rajawat has been associated with various professional bodies like Computer Society of India, Indian Society of Internet, SCM, and IEEE. He has been the chairman of Board of Studies of Computer Science and Engineering, Information Technology, and Computer Applications of Shri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya Indore. He has been the member of the governing body of Shri Vaishnav Institute of Technology and Science Indore. He has been coordinating many projects related to IT infrastructure, networking, software licensing, and deployment of ERP system for different institutes of Shri Vaishnav Group Indore, and providing consultancy services to many IT companies and educational institutes, including Galaxy Weblinks Private Limited Indore, Mathmagics Private Limited Devas, Softech Private Limited Indore, and many more. Welcome, sir. The co-chairperson of the session is Architect Vishal Yadi, Director in charge, Shri Vaishnav Institute of Architecture. Architect Vishal Yadi is an architect, academician, and researcher with more than 21 years of experience. He is currently working as Professor and Director in charge at Shri Vaishnav Institute of Architecture SWB since last 6 years. Till date, he has worked on more than 50 architectural projects, including coordination of industrial buildings for Cipla and commercial malls at Mumbai. Other projects include residential, commercial, and interiors, including few turnkey projects. He has conducted various seminars and workshops for the architects, engineers, building supervisors, and faculty members for academic institutes. Construction quality control and energy efficient buildings are areas of his interest. Professor Yadi has been on the panel of reviewers of several academic as well as professional competitions. He has also been a member of the Indian Institute of Architects, Indian Institute of Interior Designers, Board of Studies, SNDT University, Faculty of Studies, and Academic Council of Shri Vaishnav Vidyapeeth Vishwavidyalaya Indore, and Chairman of Board of Studies of Architecture at SWB. He has inspected several architectural institutes as an expert committee member appointed by Council of Architecture for UG and PG programs. He has worked as jury member for prestigious awards like Architect of the Year and the Best Drama House. Thank you for joining us, sir. Now I would like to hand over the procedure to our chairperson, Dr. Anand Rajawat, and co-chairperson, Architect Vishal Yadi, sir. Please start the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the nice introduction. Very good afternoon to all. Chairperson of the session, Architect Vishal Yadi, Director in charge, Institute of Architecture, SWB, Mr. Akash Setiaji, Promoter Director of CH Edgemakers, Architect Smita Wani, Owner at Vismay Space Planners, Mrs. Kalyani Sehgal, Owner at Homepage Infotech Solution, Dr. T.K. Mandal, Coordinator EDC SVV, Dr. Naveen Gupta, Co-Coordinator EDC SVV. First of all, I would like to welcome all the speakers in plenary session and would like to thank for giving their valuable time for this session. I also like to thank organizers for giving me this opportunity. A recent NESCOM report estimates that India needs at least 8,000 new businesses to achieve its target of building $87 billion IT sector. In the next 10 years, 110 to 130 million Indian citizens will be searching for jobs, including 80 to 100 million looking for their first jobs. So see the scenario. An entrepreneurial culture is the foundation of any successful economy and society. The India achieving a sustainable growth of small and medium-sized enterprises, that is SMEs, is a key part of our economic agenda. Currently, 1.7 billion adults globally remain unable to access financial services such as saving, credit, insurance, and payment. And in terms of businesses, still today around 40% of formal MSME worldwide lack the financing to expand, therefore hammering a robust, inclusive economic growth. Traditional entrepreneurship has been the backbone for our local economy for centuries. But as technology advances, we are now witnessing the rapid emergence of innovative entrepreneurships, the startups. A combination of tech-led and innovative business models enable them to create new products and services that reach more people at a cheaper cost, utilize unused assets, and build upon data information, even things that are unthinkable before. Whole sectors have been transformed from financial services to food and agriculture, connectivity, energy, water, and healthcare, making these services more efficient and more accessible for even greater portion of the world's population. For any entrepreneur, startup, or traditional, there are 5 key factors that can help a business fully thrive and make our worlds more inclusive. That is, access to finance for both entrepreneurs and their customers. Technology, the need for fast digitization of all businesses. A customer-centric business model which allow users and access to markets. An enabling environment including architecture. And finally, leveraging strategic partnership. In addition to key factors, we also need to understand key challenges and opportunities for Indian startups and entrepreneurs like ecosystem, globalization, competition, population, and innovation. The Indian government is helping startups and entrepreneurs by scrapping old rules presented there for more than 60 years. A set of new guidelines and policies is launched by the present government to promote innovative activities in India. The Startup India is a flagship program intended to reduce the rules and regulation burden from startups. In case of taxes, exemptions are given all along, easing compliance and reducing regulations. Startup India Hub is a single point of contact for providing help to new businesses. Through this platform, startups are able to register a business by just filling up a short form from a single point of contact online or through the mobile application. In addition, the numbers of registration forms for a startup have been also reduced. If you talk about the globalization and entrepreneurship can go hand in hand. Globalization facilitates technological innovations that help entrepreneurs to ensure growth through easy processes. Globalization is the key to success, and that it is important to dream big. Entrepreneurs will grow automatically if they continue to extend globally. So it means for entrepreneurs to become the part of the global world is very important. Entrepreneurs can leverage maximum benefit from competition. A healthy competition helps to grow creatively all along the development of new skills. The competition within the state will increase the number of startups as it supports talent and increase investment along startup systems. There is a huge community of investors that offer support to businesses who want to grow in a competitive atmosphere. On the other side, if you talk about the population, unlike the West, India account more than 72% young population below the age of 32 years, which make the country more promising for the people who have the entrepreneur mindsets. India need to grow at a rate of 8 to 9% by filling gender gap. Here, women contribute only 17% to the total GDP, while globally women contribution is 30%, and this gap is huge. Innovation, India is a grooming destination for the innovation, and the cities like Bangalore, Hyderabad, and others are leading names in the list of innovation hubs. With a well-established infrastructure to support innovations, in addition, many big companies or MNCs have also established their base in these cities so that they can get benefit of the innovation at a very low cost. As a result, these hubs have also opened new avenues for graduates with innovative ideas and need support system to convert these ideas into businesses. On the other side, India is facing various challenges like population, poverty, sewage, water management, overuse of plastic, etc. And all this need to be solved through innovative ways. Silicon Valley have least problem but highest number of innovations. On the other side, but opposite to this, India have high number of problem with least number of solutions that open doors for businesses with innovative ideas. Urbanization is other key challenge, which is attracting foreign investors' interest in the innovative ideas related to the electrical vehicles and climate change, etc. The future of India lies in a strong startup ecosystem. Studies indicate that Startup India movement has energized startup and entrepreneurs. India will have 1 lakh startup by 2023, which will create new job opportunities through these startup ventures. Now, without taking more time, I once again thanks organizer for giving me this opportunity. Now I am handing over the session to Mrs. Supriya Vyas for further proceedings. Thank you, ma'am. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. We have 3 invited talks in this session. It is my great pleasure to introduce our first plenary speaker, Mr. Akash Sethia. Mr. Akash Sethia is a serial startup entrepreneur. With his 2 friends and business partners, he has built and scaled up 10 startups successfully over the last 25 years. These startups have been in varied domains, from education to information technology, to manufacturing, to e-commerce, to data analytics, to consulting and hiring. As we speak today, Akash sir is leading the group's next startup venture, Code Square Technologies, that is an Indian center of excellence established in Indore, in the fastest growing space of Salesforce Commerce Cloud development and consulting. Akash Sethia is an engineer in electronics and instrumentation from SDS ITS Indore and a postgraduate in management from the prestigious IIM Lucknow. Before his MBA, he did a 2-year stint with Telco. He declined his lucrative campus job at IIM Lucknow to pursue a streak of startups all his professional life. He is a leading test prep coach for CAT, a counselor, a startup mentor, blogger, and a voracious reader. I would like to request you, sir, to enlighten the audience with your motivational words.
Good afternoon, everybody. Am I audible clearly, Mrs.?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Okay, so first of all, I am kind of a odd guy to be addressing this particular August gathering. I'm not really from the world of academics in the sense of strongly the word academics, but yeah, I have been into test prep business for a lot of time, so one could call me a teacher to that extent. However, when I was listening to the speaker before me, I was amazed at the way he used figures. It's the macro look of the world looks really exciting, and that's what is something that fuels or powers all of us entrepreneurs in the startup world. But just to let you know, even if it sounds disappointing, I will probably not be as academic in my approach to the day as this August House could be. Thank you very much for inviting me to this session. It is always pleasure to interact with people of high intellect of the academic world, where one gets to know so much more than just the ecosystem that is around you. Okay, so that I think is a good enough opening. Let me get back to the original thought that I thought I'll share with you. I was told that I'm interacting with a large number of students in primarily from MBA and engineering backgrounds, and so I would say I relate with them a lot, because I personally am an engineer who never did engineering in his life, did an MBA, and yes, that MBA probably is still helping me cruise through this entire world of startups and ecosystem and businesses. So what am I going to do is I'm going to try and get to the micro level thinking of what entrepreneurs have to think through. Why should somebody get into this entrepreneurship or etc. And a few issues that often travels in the minds of a person who's looking at entrepreneurship as a possible career or path ahead for you. So I would hope that you will find these issues that I raise very simple, but something that you are grappling with if you're dealing with an idea of being an entrepreneur. And two, if you're not thinking of being an entrepreneur, maybe I'll hopefully make you start think in that direction. And this session could possibly start there. Supriya madam, you see, I'm not really someone who's programmed to take a timed session. So whenever you feel that my time is over, just give me a small tick and I'll quickly wrap up. Although I wish to finish in something like next 15-20 minutes, but if it goes beyond, do let me know. I hope it is okay if I share a small PPT.
Sure, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So because I'm an MBA by education, and then I have been taking a lot of test prep, PPTs is the tool we survive in this world of presentations. So I'm just using a presentation, but I hoping that not many of you will be looking at the slides, but you will be listening to what I have to say for myself. That's the primary idea. So if I try and kind of give it a name, I would just want all of you to think about why would somebody be wanting to be in the areas of entrepreneurship, or why a startup. I have already been given a very, very long introduction, so I'll not talk much about it. But then one small thing that I would tell you is that I was introduced as someone who's a promoted director of CH Edgemakers, which is a test prep business, which is basically a education business. However, I would probably now be better known as a founder of Code Square Technologies, because that's my latest foray into startups, and this is my group's 11th or 12th startup, so to say. So I'm hoping that what I'm going to talk about will help you think through a lot of small ideas that every startup goes through. I'm kind of at a stage where some of you may want to start an entrepreneurship project, and we've just started off. This was my first day in a makeshift office that we are starting this company from. So that's the kind of ecosystem that I come from, and that's where probably you'll be able to relate to what I'm saying. So the first thing that I'll probably want to share with you is not what should excite you about entrepreneurship, but you should start thinking in terms of why is it that a lot of people are not able to really take that major step towards entrepreneurship or starting their startup. I think one of the biggest things that we are all looking at is the cost of failing, because entrepreneurship in its soul carries a lot of risk. And when something is risky, you can fail. And when you fail, one starts looking at what is the cost of my failing, and am I ready to take that cost? So maybe just let me make you think about a few ideas of what are the various cost of plays. For example, if you look at my own case, when I decided to become an entrepreneur, I was studying at IIM Lucknow, one of the primest institute that one would want to do an MBA from. And people used to, in those days, we didn't have so many IIMs, we had only 4, and I was in one of those 4. So it was considered a very, very big achievement at that time. And so everybody realized that, well, you see, you are at an IIM and you will want to join a consulting company on multiple lakhs and then make your parents proud. So it's a very big decision for anyone like that to take. Add to that you come from a middle class family. Maybe my father, for example, was a banker for life, earning some 20,000-25,000 rupees a month for number of years that I've known. And so it makes things more complicated. You have taken a loan for your education. Okay, so you are already paying. When you start, you are looking at an EMI standing in front of you. Okay, while you may have worked for a year or two, and hence there is an opportunity cost for you. Maybe you have a younger family ahead of you, and you probably are paying a part of it. You may come from a lower middle class family. Maybe you have a sister who's just around marriage, and your parents are telling you, why would you want to take such a risk when your family is at such a stage? Okay, or maybe you yourself are a most eligible bachelor, and your parents say, what if you're not going to take up a job, who's going to marry his or her daughter to you? So you see, depending on which part of the country or which part of the diaspora you come from, some or many of these costs may apply to you. And if you think about it, all of it becomes a very, very scary package. If I fail, what am I going to do with my loan? Okay, how are people going to look at me? People are going to say, you're an IIM grad and you don't have a job now, and you've made a mess of a business idea that you thought of. What worse can happen? So this looks pretty big, right? Okay. And then remember, in today's world, for example, you probably have a lot of jobs available. In fact, opportunities are proliferating. I'll probably say a contrasting thing a little later, but then at this point of time, for someone who's looking for a job, you can probably get a cozy job if you have skill sets in the right, right quarters. So if you look at this overall slide, you will find that none of it looks very, very attractive to become an entrepreneur. So then a lot of people ask me, okay, why is it that you will want to become an entrepreneur? I'll come to that. Okay, maybe my list is not over. I'll probably talk about a few more. The other problem with entrepreneurship is that there is no surety of success. You take up a job, even if you're not doing too well, you can learn the ropes, you have the time, you can grow out. Okay, maybe you were looking at a promotion 5 years ago, 5 years later, 2 years later, it may happen 10 years later, but it will probably happen. In entrepreneurship, you don't have that luxury. The problem is that if you're going to compare and we're going to say, okay, here is my job, this is X is what I'm earning. Okay, if I leave this job and then start entrepreneurship, what is going to happen to me 5 years down the line? मैं आपको बताऊं, when I was starting on my entrepreneurship journey, a lot of people used to say, what the hell, you have left a job which probably people will give their right arm to pick up. If you're going to compare what you are earning, what you will be earning 3 years down the line, that may not even be half of what you're starting at. So why would a fool want to start an entrepreneurial venture? One of the biggest problems is that your parents, who have been kind of rearing you up for a stable, great life ahead of you, are very worried. Okay, this guy is jumping into a blind alley, and what is going to happen? So then one has to think, what is it that will entrepreneurship give you? Okay, I hope I have scared you enough, and maybe you'll look at the next slide now more closely, because I'm going to tell you what most startup guys are fired by. And to your real surprise, money does not come first. Money is not really a big driver for most entrepreneurs, although in most success stories you will find that these guys earn huge amount of money, and so that can be a motivator. It remains a motivator. But most entrepreneurs or most startup owners actually get fired by something else. I'll tell you a couple of things that I probably was fired by. In my days, I have had my dad has been in a job for as many number of years as I know him. And so I have always seen him being driven by bosses around. Okay, they are at the back and call of a boss all the time. Okay, and so as a child, I grew up to tell myself that, look, I don't want a boss on myself. I want to be my own boss. I want to decide what I'm going to do. Okay, it's my life, and the way I'm going to drive it is what I'm going to do. Now, most entrepreneurs are fueled by or powered by this particular thought. And if some of you are actually fired by that thought, okay, let me suggest that please don't suppress that thought. It's okay. Quite a few startup or entrepreneurs, if you're going to see, you will find them fairly arrogant about this particular idea. Okay, that they don't want to be instructed. They don't want to be told what is wrong or right. Now, don't get me wrong. That does not mean that they're not open to learning. Okay, which is different from being instructed by often people whom you think aren't the right people to actually, drive you. Okay, if I want to give you another reason as to why you will want to be a startup entrepreneur, because you'd always wanted to be one. It's just that feeling. I mean, I don't know why somebody wants a rationale behind it. There are lots of people who just wanted to do something that will be a creation and it will leave a legacy behind. Today, if I look back at myself, and I'm going to say that there are people who are going to know me for the fact that there were some 8-10 various businesses that we started. Some of them, of course, failed. Some of them fairly successful. Some of them, we were able to sell off at a fairly good price. And there was a lot of thrill in this all 20 years, 25 years of my life. Ups, downs, but a lot of, if I can use the word, fun. However, today, if I look back at myself, and I'm going to say that some 10 startups would have given at least, employment to a few thousand people. Now that is a feeling that you probably have to go into future and then look back at yourself and say, wow, this is what I did. And it's a feeling, okay, that only entrepreneurs actually are able to, value. So if you're someone who says, look, I'm not going to be an employer, I'm not going to be an employee, I'm going to be someone who's going to generate employment in this economy. Okay, you are the one who's looking at being a startup entrepreneur. Can I say one more thing? Just before me, you saw, you heard a lot of figures. I would agree with the larger point of those figures. India is in a sweet spot today for startup entrepreneurs. There is a lot of opportunities. There are a lot of things going for you. And so if you want to be an employer, I don't think India can give you a better time. I probably started at a much worse time. And so, in front of you, you have a India which is full of such opportunities where you could make yourself a very successful entrepreneur. Okay. One of the most arrogant, line that you will hear about being an entrepreneur is that that's what I'm made for. That's how I'm wired. And I can't do anything else. I'll probably be, running a business. That's all. So if you look at those statements and if you see your personality getting reflected there, you're talking to the right guy, or maybe you're looking at the right direction now. That's the one thing. However, let me try and be more modest and let me talk about something more. Often entrepreneurship is having a great business idea. Okay. And we are living in a world which is now driven by innovation. Innovation is what is fueling the economies world over now. And innovation is where entrepreneurship actually emanates from. It kind of originates from. So if you are someone who's looking around all the time and looking at small little problems and then saying, well, this problem could have been solved in this manner, why is someone not trying this out? Okay, then you have an inkling of a business idea. And that's where the Gangotri of entrepreneurship starts from. So if you're someone who's full of observation, who keeps looking at small things, ideas, and then come up with solutions, every single single technology solution that nowadays entrepreneurs offer came from such small ideas. And I'm sure that there are a lot of stories that you've learned. One of my earliest employers, Tata's, Ratan Tata, came up with this concept of Nano 1 lakh car. Okay, looking at a family, okay, who was riding a scooter, a family of 4, and the lady of the house trying to protect the entire family with one single umbrella. That's where such an idea starts from. And then you start thinking of a product, you start thinking of a market, you start thinking of a business, and then make it, and then try and be an entrepreneur. And why did I take the idea of nano and not anything else? Because nano actually failed. And so you will realize that entrepreneurs actually are not worried about ultimately whether it failed or succeeded, but they are fueled by, they're fired by the idea of the fact that there is a problem and you can solve it. Okay, and that's probably why I would say one would want to take this great business idea, your innovation, to the floor. Some of them are going to be successful, some of them are going to be failures, but your entrepreneurial spirit doesn't to it, that does not matter. Second, you see, what I'm saying when I'm saying I do not want to be I want to be my own boss, is that you're looking at being independent, and you're looking at financial opportunities that are lying ahead of you. You want to tap them, you want to make it big. That's probably what you want to do. So sorry. Yeah. So look at the financial opportunity that an entrepreneur can get. The answer is unlimited. You can get a job which can multiply maybe twice or thrice in 4 or 5 years. Okay, but an entrepreneur can become either zero from wherever you started to, sometimes negative, or it can even multiply 100 times, 1,000 times, sometimes in a very, very rare circumstances, maybe million times. Okay, so now that's the comparison. You're looking at steady growth, easy life, or you're looking at aggression, and huge opportunities ahead of you. If I try and give you an example, are you going to be an Narayan Murthy or an SM Datta? A lot of you, I'm not sure, maybe we'll interact later, but I don't know, many of you may not even remember what SM Datta is like or who SM Datta is. And my answer to that would be that, well, he has been one of our greatest managers in the country of his times. He led Hindustan Unilever. In those days, it used to be HUL. Okay, and a great thinker, management thinker, and very visionary guy. But most of you, not most of you, all of you would know Narayan Murthy. So I would say that this example probably gives you an idea of where I'm coming from. Narayan Murthy left a cozy job with his friends and created something which is iconic in our country, or for that matter in this world. And Datta Saab, although he probably achieved almost similar things that Narayan Murthy did. Okay, but many of you will somehow maybe not remember him for the legacy that he knows about. Of course, my friends in the panel and everyone else here would probably know him. But the point I'm making is a larger one, that entrepreneurs often will get lost in the crowd like any other person, or they'll probably make a mark and will be remembered for their legacy that they'll leave in this world. Oof. So then the larger question is when to start. A lot of people, actually, you know what, I meet a lot of people. I do a little bit of startup mentoring myself. Some youngsters keep connecting to me, and then we keep talking. One of the most important questions that keeps coming to me is, sir, I want to be an entrepreneur, but when to start? Because the logic that is going behind in his mind is that, sir, don't you think it's a great idea that I first work for a few years, get an idea of how organizations run, okay, try and understand, learn a lot, and then take a big step? Well, my answer to this question is a mixed one. Frankly, there is no right answer there is no right point to start on an entrepreneurship journey. If I was to summarize it in a single sentence, whenever you think you are ready for it, is how I'll put it. The problem is, how do you know when are you ready for it? Well, the answer is that if you have seen why I said you should be in entrepreneurship, you'll find that when you start feeling comfortable that I'm going to be my own boss now. Okay, it's not about actually whether you have finance. You never have enough finance to start a business. Okay, I started my businesses, we are 3 people actually, 3 partners for life, 25 years we've been together. All of us started with like 50,000 rupees of seed fund each. So we had a seed fund of 1.5 lakhs overall. And whatever we created, it started from there. Would it help that I would start with something like 50 lakhs? Yes, it would help. Should I wait for that 50 lakhs? My answer is no. Because if you have an idea, it is time for you to implement, because otherwise somebody else will implement it. That's the world we live in. Okay. And hence, my answer is that you should start today, because there is no end to learning of what you can learn from a job. But what can happen with your job is that over a period of time, as you move in time, responsibilities increase. Okay. So every year, you will take up a job, 2-3 years down the line, marriage will face you. You'll probably marry, then you'll have children, then you'll have costs that are piling up, and you'll keep finding it difficult to jump. Why did I jump right at the end of my MBA? Because I told myself that if I don't jump now, my opportunity cost will be so big that I'll never leave my job and then jump into entrepreneurship. Okay. And hence I said, if I have to try it, I'll do it now. A few people kept asking me, suppose you fail. So I said, look, I'm now educated enough. Okay. That survival is not a problem. So it's not a bread and butter problem. It will be a growth problem. I agree. So 5 years down the line, if I'm going to go to people and I'm going to say I'm an IIM graduate and give me a job because I could not run my company for the last 5 years, it will be tough. But I said it will not be impossible. Can I say one more thing beyond this? In your world now, it is more possible. Now, people like us or those who are employing, they know that there are startups which failed. Okay. And so it is not a stigma anymore. Okay. They will look at what did you do to make your startup successful. And if they feel that you were still pretty good, okay, whether it failed or not, okay, you will probably get still good jobs and opportunities. So to me, as I keep saying, you're in a better position to start on entrepreneurship. Please don't get used to comfort, because when you take up a job, you get comfortable. Life goes on. Every month you get a paycheck. Okay. And so your expenses are met. There are no pressures, nothing. Think about the pressure that I'm talking about. My dad, who was a simple banker, took up a loan to pay for my education. I got a very good job. Okay. And so my dad was very happy that now no problems. Loan to chuk ho jayega, lekin at the same time I'm going to earn handsomely. So we're going to get richer than our lower middle class status. And then here comes a guy who says, no, I'm not going to go take up this job and I'm going to start a business. And I don't have any money coming at least for the next 6 months to a year, depending on how you start off. So, what is the discomfort here? The discomfort is that, my back is on fire. Okay. If I don't succeed in another 1-2 years, 3 years, okay, I'm going to be in trouble. What did my dad say? My dad said that, look, I'm about 8-10 years to retire. So at least our dal roti is not in a problem for the next 5-10 years. So if you want to try in the next 3-4 years, otherwise get a job, because we got to survive. So the point I'm making is a pretty simple one. Probably at this stage is the time when you can take maximum risk. As you go ahead, comforts, conditions multiply. And then maybe I have seen a lot of my own friends becoming entrepreneurs now at the age of 45 to 50, because now they're kind of now freer. Their responsibilities have reduced. So look at where you want to go. Finally, remember, what I'm saying is this: the later you try, the price of failing is increasing. And that's a very huge thing. Okay, very difficult to handle. I have had many friends with whom I used to discuss entrepreneurship proposals, but over a period of time, each one of them said, look, I want to jump, but let this happen. Let my children grow up. Let me create some wealth. Let me have a house of my own, and so on and so forth. So you see, we're talking about this price increasing. And so the maximum risk taking capability that you have is now. One last issue that I'll probably want you to think about. What is the time frame for trying an entrepreneurial business? What I mean is a very simple thing. बहुत सारे लोग मेरे पास आते हैं ये कहते हुए, पूछते हुए कि सर बिजनेस तो शुरू कर दिया, ओके, हमने सारा कुछ बना दिया है, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इज इन प्लेस, वी आर नाउ वर्किंग, वी आर लुकिंग फॉर बिजनेस डेवलपमेंट एक्टिविटीज आर गोइंग ऑन, पर बिजनेस आ नहीं रहा है. Okay, and so there is a dry phase. We currently don't have any business and only promises. It is not getting monetized. When is it that I decide that this is not working and it is failing? Okay, how much time should I allow? Well, मैं आपको ना बहुत रियल स्टोरी बता रहा हूँ. जब मैंने अपनी बिजनेस शुरू किया था तो आई वॉज लाइक सुपर कॉन्फिडेंट. I was an IIM graduate. I had a couple of years of experience behind me, and so I was very confident that I can work software and I can do really big things in software. And I said, look, India is at the cusp of software revolution. These small medium businesses don't understand software, and I am the one who's going to explain to them software. Okay, and so I started off my company in the software as a software business. And for the next 6 months to 9 months, it was reality check. I used to go to companies, present, ideas after ideas. I used to tell them how IT can help them, increase productivity and things like those. And everybody will listen to me carefully. They're going to really praise me for what I do. And then they're going to say, go, goodbye. The business is not going to come. So, 6-9 months tak to, I had no revenues really coming. My dad used to fill the scooter with petrol and used to give to me ki ja bhai aur jagah try kar. So that was the situation. Now, on a weak moment, I went to my dad, and my dad is as I said, told you, is a simple banker, but comes from a Sahukar family of those days. So you can say we were financiers in one of our earlier versions. हमारे दादा परदादा. तो मैंने उनसे कहा कि भाई अब 9 महीने हो गए, अभी तक तो कुछ बिजनेस मिला नहीं है, तो आपको क्या लगता है मुझे वापस नौकरी कर लेनी चाहिए? तो his words were, and I'm telling you how he presented it. He said, look, अब मैंने तो कुछ MBA किया नहीं है, लेकिन हमारे यहाँ मालवी में एक ही बात कहते हैं कि किसी भी धंधे का 2.5 से 3 साल का साइकिल होता है. उसके पहले आप धंधे को सक्सेस या फेलियर नहीं बोल सकते. एंड यू नो व्हाट, it struck a chord in my mind, because in management also I had read a theory which is called a 30-month theory. It said that a business idea has to be tried out for 30 months before we call it a failure. Now, maybe in your world of technology, which is nowadays unfolding, maybe this 30 month is a lifetime. But honestly, I'm telling you, everything has a gestation period. Everything has a gestation period. And however confident or however good you may look, business is not going to just kind of start percolating to you in the first year itself. It will take a lot of time. You'll have to go to people. You'll have to start. And believe me, I'm saying this with now having dealt with some 8 to 10 startups. Some of them have already failed also. I'm in fact doing exactly this thing for a new startup now. I'm going to a lot of people, convincing that here is a business idea that is going to be successful. Okay, you get hired by me. You won't believe me at this age and with whatever background I have. Just yesterday, I was talking to a young HR manager, just 2 years into her career. And I said, you come and join us and handle our HR. And do you know what she asked? She asked, लेकिन आपकी क्या गारंटी कि अगले साल तक भी आप मुझे हायर करके रखोगे? You are a startup. 1 साल बाद अगर आपने छोड़ दिया तो मेरा तो ये वाला बिजनेस चला जाएगा. Where is your office address? And why is it so small? What are the teams? What are the team members you have? And in 15 minutes, she converted into an interview the other way around. I thought I was taking her interview, but she started taking my interview. And you know what? This is when I keep remembering this story of mine again. And I say, look, okay, 2-2.5 साल तो मैं ट्राई करूंगा, उसके पहले ये फेल होने वाला नहीं है. ओके, और मेरे पीछे अब इतनी लीगेसी है कि मैंने इतने स्टार्टअप चालू भी किए हैं, कुछ फेल भी हुए हैं. ये अगर फेल भी हुआ तो तेरा 2-2.5 साल तो कहीं नहीं जाता है. So she started laughing, and believe it or not, she hasn't accepted my offer, by the way. She did not join it. So you see, you'll come across this all the time. What is my answer to the question? Don't look back. At least for the next at least go through 2 cycles of your business before you say you're failing. Because one full cycle will actually teach you a lot of things about business. Okay, which you're not, you commit small little errors, and you'll have to learn from it and then do the next cycle better. Okay, so if you are all, understanding small little things that I've shown to you, here is my last suggestion to you. Okay, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, okay, think about your business model. Don't just, there is a difference between an idea and a business model. Ideation is available dime a dozen. आप मेरी बात सुनिए, हमारा शहर है इंदौर में अगर आप सड़क पर निकलोगे और हर तीसरे आदमी से पूछोगे तो आपको एक बढ़िया आइडिया दे सकता है. We are very creative people here in Indore. Okay, but there is a long distance that one has to travel from having a excellent innovative idea to converting it into a deliverable business model. Okay, now that maybe some other time we'll discuss it in detail what exactly what I mean by that. But what I'm trying to say is a pretty simple thing. One of my profs at IIM Lucknow used to keep saying this, keep asking us this question for every case, for every situation, for every problem that we used to discuss. What business are you in? Okay, and I keep telling my young entrepreneurs this line, that keep asking yourself, what business will you be in if you actually convert your idea into business idea? You have to be very clear about what is the output your business is going to drive, give, and what is the input that it will take. Create what is called a business model. What is my input to my business and what is going to be output? I'll end this talk by giving you a very interesting example. A lot of you might have not heard of this portal called escomas.com. In around 2000, the web revolution happened to India. Okay, and in that revolution, everybody used to create websites, and Escomars was a very big name, by the way, in those days, very big business. Okay, they launched a business idea called escomars.com. This name was there on every single hoarding, and huge hyperbolic TV advertising happened, and everybody said, look, here is a .com revolution business building. Now this business went to every city and said, look, you become our franchisee. Okay, and so they used to in fact charge for you attending a franchisee meet. When I say franchisee meet, you are not yet franchisee, you are considering franchisee proposal. So they used to charge a registration fee for first just listening to their franchisee model. And a lot of people actually paid those 2,000, 3,000 rupees that they used to ask for. And what was this business? Frankly, it had no idea of what exactly is the deliverables that these guys are going to give to you. They brought you that fancy technology which is called VSAT, and they said, look, what we're going to do is we're going to connect your kiosk with a VSAT to the central server we have, and every service that we're going to offer will be available at your kiosk. A lot of people even bought it. They bought some very expensive equipment, installed that kiosk, and then they didn't know what are they selling. The point I'm making is a pretty simple one. This was idea which was well funded, very well marketed, reached out to hundreds and thousands of people. But right on day one, it was written failure on that business because the business idea did not know what exactly is it delivering. Well, that was the last slide I wanted to talk to you about. Think about three takeaways from my this is small speech. One, remember that why would you want to become an entrepreneur? Because you're fired by that idea, innovation, and of being your own boss, leaving your own legacy. Those are the primary reasons you'll do it. The secondary reason is that you can make a lot of money from it. Two, remember that you will need time, effort, and a lot of patience to be able to make a successful venture. And three, remember that start when you know what you are delivering, not necessarily how, but you have to be very clear in terms of what business are you in. Okay, one last thing. Why would you not be an entrepreneur? Here are some things. It's a 24-hour job. It's not a 8-10-hour job. Okay, because your mind share has to be completely into your business idea. Well, why would you not want to be an entrepreneur? Because maybe you want to make your spouse happy. Because if you're an entrepreneur, okay, meet my wife, she'll always remain unhappy about me not being available because I'm always available to my first spouse, which is my business. Second, remember, if you're someone who don't want to do dirty work, what I mean by that is that an entrepreneur actually has to be ready for everything, right from cleaning his own office to actually discussing and doing strategy. And finally, okay, you don't like being your own boss, then maybe you don't want to be an entrepreneur. Otherwise, everything in India currently is geared for you to be a great entrepreneur. Thank you so much for giving me time, everybody. I hope that I could rekindle a few thoughts in your mind. I'll be happy taking questions later when Supriya madam allows me. And here are some of my contacts. Go ahead and connect to me whenever, for whatever. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for sharing your motivational thoughts and experiences with us. I hope so many students benefited from your lecture. I am very pleased to introduce our next speaker, Architect Smita Vani. Architect Smita Vani is presently the CEO at Vismay Space Planners, established in 2005. The practice is based on the expertise of Smita Vani ma'am, an architect with 19 years of experience in architecture, construction, interior design, and development. The firm has successfully completed more than 1,000 projects till today. Architect Smita Vani has completed BR from NDM BPS College of Architecture, Pune University in 1999 and MBA from Ballinkar Institute of Management in 2013. She was received Design Award for Ganga Mai Bungalow by Infrastructure Magazine, Udyog Ratna Award, Karma Yogini Award by Deshdoot newspaper, and many other awards as passionate female entrepreneur by local social groups. I request you, ma'am, to address the gathering.
Thank you so much. So, actually, I was listening Dhar sir as well as Mr. Jagdish Verma sir, and now Mr. Akash, who really passionately speak about entrepreneurship and many motivational theories how we should proceed in profession, in entrepreneurship, in your business. Hope I'm audible to all. Am I?
Yes, you are audible. Please go ahead.
So, see, I'm not a motivational speaker, or I'm not going to tell you many ideas how to proceed or take your entrepreneurship to the leading business. But I'm going to share just my life story, and you can, the way Mr. Akash was telling right now, that you get fired by something to reach to your goals, and the situation, the destiny, how it took me or how it lead me this level where I'm standing in front of you right now. So I'll just share one small video on about. Let me check. This is one just small video which will
ये तेरा घर ये मेरा घर किसी को देखना अगर तो पहले आगे मांग ले मेरी नजर तेरी नजर ये तेरा घर ये मेरा घर किसी को देखना अगर तो पहले आगे मांग ले मेरी नजर तेरी
वीडियो नहीं आ रहा मैडम, ओनली गाना आ रहा है.
I am not able to see the video.
Is it not?
It is audible. It is not visible.
It is not visible.
Yeah.
We can see your screen, by the way.
1 minute. I'm not very much used to take all these things. Share.
उसमें right click अपने shared your screen में you should share the entire screen and then come to this.
Okay, I'll just check.
You come out of share screen.
You have to first do stop sharing.
Stop sharing.
Yes,
Then
again.
share screen.
Then share screen. And on that you share, your own screen on which you can see yourself. Yes.
New share.
Now you double click on that.
Now it will be audible and visual also.
Let's
Yeah,
hope.
we hope so.
Let's hope so. Is it?
So we are seeing list only.
Is it audible now?
Not visible.
It is not visible.
It is visible?
It is audible only. We can see the list only.
Just forget about it. From where I can stop it now.
You just have to go again and stop that song from your own file.
Let's listen it to one. It's just I think 1 more minute. It's not stopping also.
You can stop sharing the screen and then you can close that particular song. Okay. Okay, you can proceed.
Yeah. So ma'am, now the things are, the song has stopped.
Okay. I think it's stopped now. Okay. Okay. So actually, I'm by profession, I'm an architect. And really, I'm very passionate about my profession. The situation is like that, like when I go with my family, my son to the movie. And once like I went to the movie, it was a very nice movie, Hrithik Roshan's movie. And I came out from the movie and I said my son that like, please give me the recording of this movie. I want to see it again. And he was very surprised. He said that like, you like this movie so much. And I told him that actually, in that movie, the shoot is taken in some foreign country, and the building details, the Hrithik Roshan is jumping from the building, and the building details, what it was showing, the window details, what they were showing, and because of that fast-moving activity, I could not look at that. So we are so passionate about our profession that though the Hrithik Roshan is dancing and fighting, we just focus on the building and the character behind. Generally, no one asks me how the movie is. Now they ask me if you are going for the Devdas, what you located, whether it was ceiling or it was railing, what you located from that movie. So that's how, when you are in your business or you are in your profession, the way Akash sir said that you should be very passionate, you should be deeply inside in your thing, whatever you are doing. So I think sometime I may switch to the Hindi also. I think everyone is comfortable in Hindi also. So ऐश्वर्या राय नाच रही है, डांस कर रही है, तो भी हम लोगों को कर्टन्स दिखते हैं, या हम लोग कोई मूवी देखने जाते हैं तो rather than the whatever the drama, we see whatever the false ceiling details are, how the buildings are, how the bungalow is designed. Dil to pagal hai maine bahut baar dekhi, because the bedroom details, the conceptual things what they have used in the studio was so fascinated. So that's how actually I'm very passionate about my business, and I think that is the thing which is my identity also. So, as since morning we are talking about entrepreneurship and what fired me to reach to this level. So I'm going to just take you to some of my life story, like how I proceeded and from where I came from. जिंदगी में बहुत बार ऐसे हम लोगों ने सोचा नहीं होता है कि हमें यहाँ तक पहुंचना है, या बहुत बार बहुत अलग चीजों की तरफ जिंदगी का रुख मुड़ जाता है. I'm very from like a very small town, धुले धुलिया नाम का एक comparatively छोटा डिस्ट्रिक्ट है, वहां से मैं हूँ. I got my education till 10th standard from Marathi medium, and frankly speaking, no one from my family belongs to the architecture or any construction line. I was the only one who came to this line or to actual business. So when I'm saying that life leads you to some different journey, since childhood, I was very much like a homemaker kind of female, or like very much attached to my family. I completed my architecture in 99, and जैसे सारे लोगों का एक सपना होता है शादी करनी है, अभी पढ़ाई हो गई, अभी शादी करनी है. And that was the time in 2000, a sudden twist, sudden turn, a black day of my life arrived. We met with an accident just a week before my marriage, and I lost my half of the family. So that is actually the very particular turning point of my life. My brother was 14 years elder than me. Like when I was in 6th standard, my brother got married. So most of my city members were knowing that I'm their daughter. Because in childhood, they used to see me with my भैया भाभी. बचपन में मेरे भैया गायनेकोलॉजिस्ट थे, तब से उनकी सोच थी कि मुझे डॉक्टर बनना चाहिए. छोटी थी, सबकी लाडली थी. Even I used to, like till my 12th, I used to assist my brother for his OTs and in his patient monitoring, because it was decided that I will be doctor in future. But my sister-in-law she was doctor, and her roommate was doing architecture when she was studying in Pune. So she used to tell me that your drawing is good, and you will see, be an architect in future. And as I said, I am from Dhule. तो दुनिया में इतना ज्यादा आर्किटेक्चर का तब कुछ ये था ही नहीं, तो ये प्रोफेशन में आगे जाके क्या करना है कुछ मालूम भी नहीं था. Then in some 11th 12th standard, I went to one of my friend's house, and it was a very beautiful bungalow. उस पे एक पार्टी लगी हुई थी. दिस धुलिया में वहां पे ऐसे एक प्रोटोकॉल है कि वो बंगला डिजाइन करते हैं तो आर्किटेक्ट का नाम लगाते हैं. दिस बंगलो इज डिजाइन्ड बाय ह्या घराचे वास्तुशास्त्रज्ञ मिस्टर सुवर्ण. दैट टाइम आई रियलाइज लाइक कि अरे दिस इज अ गुड, कुछ तो अलग चीज है. एंड इन 12th standard I decided that I'll almost in November I decided I'll go to architecture now. So as I said, I completed my architecture, and then though I got the 94 marks in biology, and that time comparatively the admission process, me and Yadi sir are from the same batch actually. That time admission process were comparatively smooth. Just form fill up karna hota and then give the options, and I got the admission in Good Architecture College. And after architecture, even during the course also, I never thought that I'll be doing like मैं इतना मुझे business करना है, ऐसे मैंने कभी सोचा भी नहीं था. और जैसे मैंने बोला कि आर्किटेक्चर खत्म होने के बाद एक ये इंसिडेंस हुआ that I comparatively I was good looking, I lost my looks. I went through so many surgeries, like I lost my bhaiya, bhabhi, my two nephews, and all of a sudden, like the whole family was on, this is totally disturbed. It took me around 1 year. There were many other surgeries also. Finally, after a tremendous social pressure, we got married, but somehow after 3 years of marriage, though I was so much trying to retain that marriage, because of which I lost so many things in life, somehow we could not make it. And even I lost that marriage also. So now I was nowhere. Health-wise, I was totally down. I was with 12 plates in my face, with some 32 odd number of screws on my face. I lost my family background also, like my mother and father was totally stuck up somewhere. So जिंदगी में हम जैसा चाहते हैं वैसा बहुत बार होता नहीं. And एक चीज है, one thing which fired me, and that was thing for me. Like, I'm alive with so many crises. I'm still alive. There must be some reason why I'm still alive. And the most important thing that time was who I am. What is my identity in life? Am I just someone's daughter? Am I just someone's sister? Am I just someone's wife? I need my identity. Smita Vani. This name must be having some identity. So I should work for me. So that was the fire which triggered me to work hard and passionately work on my profession. And when like we females are so framed since childhood that we never think out of that frame. We always first think about our home, then about our family, then about our kids. We never framed ourselves to look out of that box. So again, when जिंदगी के इस सफर के इस मोड़ पे कि दुनिया क्या बोलेगी, आगे क्या होगा. Sometimes starting from the zero is also something, but at that time even I was not having the zero also. Even my bank balance was like, because of some emotional fullness, even my bank balance was like minimum. So that time I decided to start something, just to create my own identity. And I used to daily, when I used to get up, I used to recall the things. Why people are saying that accident की गाड़ी है, कितने दिन तक चलेगी? I will prove my potentials. I will work for it. And when I started my business in 2005, 2006, that time I initially in my initial team saw me coming to the site, walking. गाड़ी नहीं थी, कुछ नहीं, चल के साइड पे जाती थी. But that was the thought कि मुझे कुछ करना है. 100 cards I printed. Even I was not having the 100 related person की जिनको मैं 50 कार्ड देने के बाद अभी ये 50 कार्ड मुझे किसको देने हैं, इसके लिए मैंने लोगों से पूछा था. And now I feel good that I completed almost more than 800 projects in Nasik. So that is the time, like you should trust yourself. But that time it was very difficult. Initial start times of any profession, any startups, anything are really tough. Really, as Dr. Dhar has said in the morning, you need to plan everything. That time when I was working with some other firm on just 5,000 rupees monthly salary, that time I used to think I kept my complete canvas ready. I paint everything that what I want in this 10 year. No doubt, initially my targets were very materialistic because many things were taken away from me. Like मेरा घर नहीं है, मुझे किसी ने घर से निकाला था. मेरे पास मेरी गाड़ी नहीं है क्योंकि मेरे पास मेरी गाड़ी मेरे नाम पे कुछ नहीं था. So initially, no doubt, my targets were really materialistic for initial 10 years. But I really, it was very like जब मैं दिखती थी तो मेरे हाथ भी कांपते थे कि मुझे ये 10 साल में क्या करना है, 5 साल में क्या करना है, 3 साल में, हर साल का एक प्लानिंग करके रखा था. It was properly paint in my diary. Then those 5 years were again, the full canvas were again placed in 1 year canvas कि 12 महीने में मुझे क्या काम करना है. Then when I used to start initially, then 3 महीने में मुझे काम करना है. The way I scheduled everything for my 10 years of life when I started my practice. That time, every January, I used to write down and I used to finish my target by August. Basically, 100% focused on that. And that time, I think 2008 was the Mandi. There was some slowdown in the market. But if you are working positively, if you are working with the full energy, always there is an opportunity in difficulties. जब कोई चीज बिगड़ती है तो आपके आजू बाजू में कुछ चीजें ऐसी अच्छी होती रहती है और आपके कुछ बहुत गलत लोग आपके सामने हैं तो आपके बाजू में कुछ बहुत अच्छे लोगों का सेट भी रहता है. बट जस्ट वी नीड टू फोकस ऑन दैट अदर डोर्स व्हिच आर ओपनिंग फॉर यू. बहुत बार हम लोग वहीं पे रुक जाते हैं, बंद दरवाजे की तरफ देख के रोते बैठते हैं, वो नहीं किया तो बाकी बहुत दरवाजे आपके लिए खुल रहे हैं, वो हम लोग मिस कर देते हैं. सेम वे, when there were so many difficulties or difficult situations around, there were few very good things were happening around me, which I located. Like I hired one small place. Initially, I just kept one table in my living room itself. Then slowly कि मुझे करना ही है. तो जैसे अभी सर ने बोला कि घर वालों का एक प्रेशर रहता है कि इनकम का क्या है, तो ठीक है, मेरी अभी 10,000 रुपए सैलरी है, मैं कुछ 2 काम करूंगी तो 10,000 रुपए तो आ ही जाएंगे महीने में. वहां से शुरू करना जरूरी रहता है. So that's how I started from my living room with one small table, and then we hired one small office. And when you start working passionately, even your family members, your relatives, there's so many well wishers around you start supporting you. And then the way sir said कि 1 से 2, 2 से 4 होने में टाइम नहीं लगता है, अच्छे काम करते रहो. Just keep trust on yourself and it will lead you to definitely successful things. I always think कि failure ये एक चीज ऐसी है, कोई भी बिजनेस में जहाँ पे आपको लगता है you keep on working. और बहुत सारे लोग मैंने आजू बाजू में देखे हैं, वो एक ऐसी जगह पे रुकते हैं कि वहां पे वो थोड़ा पेशेंस से आगे बढ़ जाए. If they push themselves with little पेशेंस कि आफ्टर दैट एक स्टेज पॉइंट आता है जहां पे आपको लगता है कि अभी ये स्टेज आउट नहीं हो सकता, वहां पे आपका पेशेंस संभाल खड़े रहो, तो उसके तुरंत बाद आपको बहुत सारा सक्सेस मिलता है और बहुत सारे लोग वहीं पे रुक के छोड़ देते हैं. सो जैसे 13 मंथ्स का एक साइकिल है या पर्टिकुलर वेटिंग पीरियड है, यू हैव टू बी, एंड ओनली इन एनी बिजनेस और एनी प्रोफेशन, just money is not the time thing what you need to be put, even your time, your positivity. That is the thing you need to be put in any profession or any business to be successful things if you want to be. I'll just try to share one PPT which we recently completed so that you can understand the way we work. I'll just try to. See, now I'm on my screen. There is a share screen option. I'm clicking that. Am I right?
Yes, yes. You click on share screen, then click
Okay.
on share entire screen.
Share entire screen.
Yeah.
But I'm not
Select
getting
that particular window.
it is showing me some. It is opening 3-4 some small things.
Yes, click on the entire screen.
Share sound, optimize video clip. It is showing some folders in that.
Yes, now your screen is visible.
Okay.
Open the PPT. We will be able to see it.
Then during this time, we completed really some passionate projects. The surgeon who worked on me, like he did my 12-hour surgery, he did my again 14-hour surgery. We worked his hospital, we worked for him for his home as well. So that's how. So this is one thing, like patience is the thing कि पेशेंस से सब चीज होती है. जैसे मैंने बोला कि शुरू में मुझे कुछ चीजें अचीव करनी ही थी, तो दिस इज वन थिंग व्हिच आई वांटेड लाइक ओके. दिस इज वन थिंग कि मुझे जिंदगी में कुछ हासिल करना है, तो मैंने एक मेरा खुद का ही टारगेट सेट किया था कि मुझे एक बहुत अच्छी जगह पे क्या फार्म हाउस बनाना है या कुछ अच्छा जगह पे कुछ मेरा करना है. देन वी टूक अ वेरी बैरन लैंड इन 2008. इट वाज लाइक जहाँ पे चढ़ने के लिए भी बिल्कुल जगह नहीं थी. डेली एक क्लाइंबिंग करके एक अलग जगह से जाना पड़ता था. एंड वी क्रिएटेड रियली some different place in that area. This was model which we worked on. This was the land where we started our initial plantation. So it's a process. 2008 we took a land, 2012 we started the plantation, then 2014 we started our construction, and with minimum amount of funds, with lot of adventurous process, rigorous process of working. On hilltop we created some different architectural project, and this took us a tremendous pleasure in our profession, in our life also. And this is so this is a चिड़िया जैसे अपना धीरे धीरे कुछ बनाती है एक घोंसला, वैसे we created a different ambience in that tough situations. This is the process, how it proceeded. Every year me and my office team used to go there and plant 150 different kind of trees and shrubs. So it was like group activity. Even my office staff used to enjoy that process. And this is how it completed. And There are always like little steps we took in life, and we go ahead with those things. This is how we completed our that project. It was
Like,
tough.
actually, we are not able to see. We are just able to see your the list of that, various M plan PPT or
I don't know, but I'm able to see everything.
anyway. You can just explain verbally without presentation.
Okay. So that's how everything is. I don't know why even I have one more PPT also, but I don't know how they keep on sharing. So that's how I think always we should think big and dream big if you want to achieve something better in life. I'll just check with my staff if they can help me in this. तुम्हाला ही पीपीटी शेअर करायला तुला झूमचं काम करता येतं झूमचं प्रेझेंटेशनचं शेअर करता येतं बरं ठीक ओके इट्स ओके I think that's how the things are, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, and thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your motivational and struggling journey with us. Now, I would like to introduce our last speaker, Mrs. Kalyani Sehgal. Kalyani Sehgal, co-founder, Homepage Infotech Solutions LLP, is a well-known person in the Indian startup community as an entrepreneur and a self-motivated person. Kalyani carries more than 12 years of experience in her field and has been leading her firm for more than 7 years now. An engineer by choice, Kalyani started her career by completing her BE from Medicaps Institute of Technology and Management and worked with multiple IT services firms for more than 5 years before starting her own firm along with her husband. Kalyani strongly believes in the idea in putting her values, integrity, and the interest of a person first before anything, and this is what has made her to get all the accolades from her clients, peers, and the family. I request you now to share your journey with us.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for introduction, and I thank the complete committee of Udhyamita to calling me here as a speaker. I'm quite younger than Akash sir and Smita ma'am. They are quite experienced, and I have a lot to learn from them as well. But still, I think I'm the one who can relate with the students more, I guess, because it was not really long back when I was also a student sitting in the same conference, like on the other side, a little confused, little excited about my own career. So I would like to share a PPT. Just before sharing the PPT, I just want to share with the students that my idea of life, or how I become the entrepreneur, is very simple, that I kept moving forward. It's just keep moving forward. You just have to do what you are doing and just keep doing it. If you will stop at any point of your time, you won't be able to achieve it, and you will not be able to be a successful. Usually people share their success story, but today I'll share my failure stories with you, so that you'll see that even a highly failed person can also be a successful in her life. So I'm just sharing this PPT. Is it visible?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
All right. So obviously, as I said, that my whole session will be focused on to keep moving forward. How I'll share a few incidences of my life which actually make me an entrepreneur. I was not actually an entrepreneur from the beginning, or I was not when I was in college. I was like a normal student. I was like I should get placed हमेशा सोचती थी कि कंपनीज आएंगी, प्लेसमेंट्स होंगे, MNCs का वेट करते थे हम लोग, that Infosys will come, TCS will come, and then I'll get placed, I'll get good job, and then I'll earn, I'll have Saturday Sundays for my family, and like everything was in my head all the time when I was a student. But how I became entrepreneur is it's quite an interesting journey I would like to share. So first I would like to share my introduction. So I think you guys are very confused that why Three Idiots poster is over here. So बहुत simple है, I am one of these characters. जब मैं कॉलेज में थी तब मैं इनमें से ही कोई एक थी. I'll tell you who I was. I was Raju because I was always afraid. When जब हमारे कॉलेज में कैंपस आना स्टार्ट हुए तब first company came which was Infosys. So I was very eager to I want to get placed in MNC. Infosys is my favorite company. I was very much impressed with Udhyamita. So I was like, I'll join the company. I admire women in my life and I want to join that company. So when this company come, the first paper was the English paper. It was a literature paper which we used to solve first, and then the second round was there, and I failed in that. Because I'm very poor at literature, both in English and Hindi. So I was not able to solve that paper very easily, and I just got failed. And I was so depressed after that because I never thought that I'll just fail so easily, because I was a very bright student. I always wanted to be a coder. I have done many courses earlier as well before these companies started coming to the campus. So how I just got failed, that thing really brings my confidence from here to there. And then the failure story started. Now then the TCS came, and you won't believe, I came to SVITS to give the TCS campus only, and I got failed there as well. Then after the TCS, the Wipro came, then Persistence came, the CSC, who is now DXC, came, the Impetus came, and I got failed in all the papers in the first attempt. I was not able to clear the first round even. I was so much depressed in my life that I thought that I am not the one who is meant to be a coder. I think I should sit at home. I'll get married after 2-3 years, and I should live a life of a housewife or something like that. I was thinking like that. But this comes down to the first aspect of entrepreneurship, the decision making. जब life में आप बहुत lowest point पे होते हो, then you have always two options to take decision, that whether you accept your failure and sit back at home, or you should think that this was the worst which can happen in my life, और अब जो होगा वो तो better ही होगा. You have to keep moving forward. So that was the time जो stress था placement का मेरे mind में, वो पूरा चला गया. And जो फिर there are few more companies which came after these MNCs, जो कि छोटी companies थी, जो इंदौर की based companies थी. But when I gave interview, there was no tension in my mind, and I was able to clear all the rounds, the logical reasoning, the group discussions, the technical round, the HR rounds, and I got placed in 2 companies then. And my first monthly salary was 4,000 per month. And at that time also, my people around me got placed in. So some people are placed in more than 3 companies, like they are placed in CSC, Infosys, and TCS, all of them, and they got very good package of 4 and 5 lakh at that time, 12 years back. And I was the one who was earning 4,000 per month only. But I was so happy that at least I am not sitting at home, and I am at least doing a job. I have started my career. So always think that rejection is a stepping stone to the success. If you will not fail the if you will not face the rejection, you will never understand what the success is. See, Raju was very, I feel the Raju of Three Idiots was very lucky that he has a rancho in his life. But real life में आपको rancho नहीं मिलता. You have to be the rancho of your own life. At that time, you have to motivate your own self कि नहीं, ठीक है, जितना हुआ बुरा हुआ, जो होगा वो better होगा. Just let's move forward, keep moving forward, work toward your success, and just keep your work good and be honest and be dedicated towards your work. So this was my main focus always. जब भी कोई भी doubts आते हैं, problems आते हैं, hurdles आते हैं, so just don't think that, oh, what we'll do after that. Just think that how you can be able to overcome that hurdle. Don't worry about that how much time it will take. Yes, entrepreneurship में जैसे कि I'm very much agree with the Akash sir. It's not always about money. It's about what the change you want to bring to the world. What you want to what difference you want to make. That's all about this. So whenever you face failures, so don't think that you are not good enough to be a successful person. These things are the part of the life, and you will be failed. If you are getting failed, means you are working hard and you are doing good. That ultimately you will get success anyhow. But if you will sit home, there's no point of getting success or anything else, right? So just one line I can say, be the rancher of your own life. Motivate yourself whenever you get failures in your life. It's okay to be failed. Just keep moving forward. All right. So the next aspect is, if you don't try, you can't win it. So I have a simple small story about that as well. So when I was doing job, now I got the job, I was started doing the job, I got married as well meanwhile. So during the job, what I felt that I was a very good coder, and I have a team of 12 members at that time. And out of 12, there were only 2 females, and there are 10 boys who were working on it. So what I realized while I was doing my job, that even though I am very good, I'm better than most of my team members, but still the opportunities, when an opportunity of on-site came, or when an good opportunity of, like sometimes clients ask us to give the night support or something like that, they just give it to the male member of the team only. They didn't even ask us that, are you open to do that? कि आप female हो तो वो मान के चलते हैं कि आप married हो, आप female हो तो ठीक है, आप तो ज़्यादा टाइम दे नहीं पाओगे, या वो they feel that the females are lesser than the men, and they give opportunity to the other members only. So that make me really feel that no, if I am good, so that I can be an entrepreneur and do something for myself only. अगर इतनी ही better हूँ coder, तो भाई I need other people to validate it that yes, you are a better coder. I can show it to the world that yes, I am better than other people and I can do that. So, and there one more story I want to say, that जब मैं job interviews के लिए जाती भी थी ना, after 3 years of experience, so usually people ask me such kind of questions. Oh, okay, you are married. So what are your family planning? मतलब उनको ये टेंशन होती थी कि यार मैटरनिटी लीव ले लेगी तो छुट्टियां हो जाएगी, फिर ऐसे एम्प्लॉयज को कौन हायर करे. तो फीमेल्स यूजुअली ऐसी प्रॉब्लम्स बहुत फेस करती हैं कि आपको फैमिली प्लानिंग का क्या है, अच्छा आपका बच्चा होगा तो फिर आप तो लेट नाइट शिफ्ट्स नहीं कर पाएंगी, या ऑल दैट. So वो जो norms थे, वो that change I really wanted to bring in the IT field. कि no, even though I'm a female, but I am as equivalent, as good as a man who is working with me, and I should get equal opportunities as the men are getting in my field. So when I started the firm, this is my company's rule, that we never ask females, कि are you married? Do you have any kids? Are you able to give proper time? And what is your planning to have kids? It's okay. If they want to take maternity leave, they can take. If they are capable enough, they'll definitely come and join the office again. And it happens in my firm. Even we give opportunities to the women also who have gap. Like कुछ females होती हैं जो कि due to maternity leaves उनको 5 या 6 months का job में gap हो जाता है. तो ऐसे females को भी job मिलना easy नहीं होता है, क्योंकि IT में usually कंटिन्यूटी बहुत मैटर करती है, क्योंकि टेक्नोलॉजी बहुत जल्दी चेंज होती है, आपको अपडेटेड रहना बहुत जरूरी है. बट because that change I wanted to bring in the society, so I always give opportunities to such kind of females, and I can proudly say कि मैंने ऐसे बहुत सारी females हैं जिनको ये opportunity दी है, और and they are doing very good, because what they needed was just one chance to prove themselves that no, they are better than or equal to a men. There is no like females. I'm not saying that females are better than men, but they are equal and they should get the equal opportunities. So if you don't try it, you can't win it. So I tried to be an entrepreneur because I wanted to bring a change. Yes, I was afraid. जब मैंने ये फर्म स्टार्ट करी, तब कहते हैं ना, अंदर का राजू फिर से बोलने लगा कि यार अच्छी जॉब है, अच्छी सैलरी मिलती है, मैरिड भी हूँ, रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज भी है, इन लॉज क्या बोलेंगे, पेरेंट्स क्या बोलेंगे, सबको टेंशन होती है. बट दैट थॉट वाज नॉट लीविंग मी कि यार आई एम नॉट गेटिंग द इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटीज, इवन आई एम वर्किंग हार्ड, इवन आई एम डूइंग एवरीथिंग टू बी सक्सेसफुल पर्सन, पर वो ग्रोथ नहीं मिल रही है जो कि ग्रोथ मिलनी चाहिए. तो आई थॉट दैट इट्स ओके, देखा जाएगा, लेट्स स्टार्ट इट. आई नो हाउ टू वर्क, आई नो द फील्ड, मुझे काम आता था. I was a coder. I have started my first office with 25,000 rupees only, and my now cabin is bigger than my first office. And in 7 years, I have reached at a place where I can see I am sitting in my dream office. I can see people working in my office. The happy faces I can see. I'm responsible for someone's employment, and that makes me feel so contented. And that's the thing. Entrepreneurship is not about always earning money. It's about how you. It's about the feeling that you should feel. When I sleep at home, I feel satisfied, and this satisfaction is very much necessary, which the job was not giving me, and that was the main reason. And uh, leadership is the another aspect of entrepreneurship. Why? Because a leader can only bring the change. There are lots of leaders available in this society. You can see like even in the film industries you can see, और अभी बहुत सारे लोगों ने तो अभी Shark Tank India देखा होगा. You have already seen the new leaders of young India, right? So वो एक चेंज लेकर आए हैं. अगर मैं एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल लूं आपके सामने, पीयूष बंसल जी का, जो कि लेंसकार्ट के फाउंडर हैं, उन्होंने एक बहुत बड़ा चेंज लाया कि जब हमको चश्मा बनाना होता था तो हम एक शॉप पे जाते थे, वहाँ आई टेस्ट कराते थे, एंड देन यू विल गेट द नंबर एंड यूल क्रिएट, आप अपना एक स्पेक्टेकल बना सकते हैं. बट ही मेड इट कंप्लीटली टेक्नोलॉजी बेस्ड. You just don't have to go to the shop. You can just upload your prescription and even upload everything, and then you just get the spectacle at your home only. So this is a change he brought to the world, and his success story is very much inspiring. I mean, like I am a big fan of him when I heard about his story. And I'm glad when I've seen the Shark Tank, I was glad that I have taken the step of becoming an entrepreneur, because now I do not regret of what I'm doing right now. Time लगता है धीरे धीरे करके. It took me 7 days because my company is a bootstrap company. We have started with 25,000 only. But during the years वो जो journey थी, वो कहते हैं ना, जो satisfaction मिला इस journey को achieve करने के लिए, वो throughout the life अगर मैं job करती रहती तो भी मुझे नहीं मिलती. So that was the best part of becoming an entrepreneur. And one thing I would like to share with everyone, people usually confuse between a business person and an entrepreneur. So एक entrepreneur को आप business person से बिल्कुल confuse मत कीजिए. एक entrepreneur जो होता है वो अपने passion के लिए work करता है, जैसे कि हमारा Indian Constitution नहीं होता है कि of the people, by the people, for the people. लोगों के लिए है, लोगों से है और लोगों के द्वारा ही है. तो जो एक एंटरप्रेन्योर होता है वो लोगों के बारे में सोचता है. वो जैसे कि सर ने बोला, आकाश सर ने, कि वो प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने के बारे में सोचता है. वो ये नहीं सोचता कि मैं कितना कमाऊंगा. दैट विल बी आई थिंक द सेकंड और द लास्ट थॉट ऑफ द एंटरप्रेन्योर्स माइंड. एंटरप्रेन्योर्स मार्केट क्रिएट करता है, वो रिस्क ले सकता है, वो उसके अंदर वो एक जील होता है टू मेक समथिंग, टू शो व्हाट ही वांट्स टू डू इन द लाइफ. बिजनेस पर्सन बनना बहुत आसान है. आई कैन से इफ यू हैव मनी यू कैन बी अ बिजनेस पर्सन. आप इन्वेस्ट कर दीजिए कहीं पे भी एंड यू विल बिकम अ बिजनेस पर्सन. पैसा कमाना कभी भी एक एंटरप्रेन्योर का एम नहीं होता है. सो अगर इफ यू हैव समथिंग इन योर माइंड जिसकी वजह से इफ यू फील दैट यू कैन मेक अ डिफरेंस टू द सोसाइटी, स्मॉल डिफरेंस, बड़ा नहीं. मेरी टीम बहुत छोटी है. आई एम अ वेरी स्मॉल एंटरप्रेन्योर. आई हैव अ टीम ऑफ 20. But if I am responsible for 20 people's employment, I feel very contented. I am very happy with that. And that's it. Keep moving forward. आगे बढ़ते रहिए. And I hope someday आप students में से ही कोई लोग मेरी जगह बैठ के और students को inspire कर रहे होंगे. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kalyani ma'am, for your inspirational talk. Now I request our chairperson and co-chairperson of the session to conclude the session.
Thank you so much, Supriya ma'am. What a wonderful session it was, which all of us have witnessed. Talking about first Mr. Akash Setia's session, sir, starting from the first slide, internship why, up to the last slide, why not entrepreneur? All the slides and all the presentations, they were very effective, and you explained it very well. I mean, especially the cost of failing and the different criteria of that, and the different consequences of the failing, need of innovation. Very interesting question was, when to start. Even that is a very common question for many of us, all of us, even when to start. So thank you for that. And price of failing increases with the time. That was very effective message. And then the time frame, how much time frame one must allow as an entrepreneur. You explained very well as a 3 cycles. I think all the younger crowd who are attending this session, this is very, very important takeaway message that we must provide at least 3 cycles, which later on architect Smita Vani also confirmed that many people stop when they are at the boundary of the success. And of course, last slide, why not entrepreneurs? So that was a self-explanatory. So thank you so much, Akash Setia, for your wonderful session. Second session, architect Smita Vani, it was highly full of inspiration. All young architects, young designers, or even all young crowd, all of you have attended. We can learn that how we can come back to the, come back in our life, how we can face the challenges, and the life must go on. Very important message. If we ask all of us, if we ask in the morning that why we are alive, as taught by architect Smita Vani, I think our performance also will increase a lot. So thank you, architect Smita, for your wonderful session. And last session, Kalyani Saigan, very important message, keep moving. Very true. Rejection is a stepping stone, and we should keep moving and we should keep trying. So thank you all the speakers.
Thank you, sir. A good event never ends. The tech only a pause and keep us waiting for the next. Very thank you to our speakers, Akash sir, Kalyani ma'am, Vani ma'am, and our coordinator of EDC cell, Mandal sir, co-coordinator Dr. Namit Gupta sir, chairperson and co-chairperson Rajawat sir and Yadi sir, and reporter of the session Namrita Jain ma'am, and all the EDC EDC cell coordinators and all the students. Thank you all and have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you all of
Thank you,
you.
panelists. Wish you all the
Thank you
best.
so much.
Thank you.